What's going on, people? Welcome back to another stream. Sorry, I'm sitting backstage a little bit for this one because I'm still watching the Stanford versus FSU game, and now we're waiting for the call on if the shovel pass was short of the end zone or not. We're still waiting for that because that's under official review. I mean, we already had the Hail Mary, so we already had the on-time down, and then we had the throw to the back of the end zone, which had, pass interference, and so they're going to put the ball at the one, and then here we go. This is what they're looking at review. I think he's in, personally. I think he's in. I think the ball across the plane, where the ball is down, it's on top of the Stanford player, of course, but the player and the ball, you can see from that angle, is on top of the goal line, which would then by rule be crossing over the goal line. And so I do think that this thing is going to turn into 19-20 pending the PAT, and we will be playing some football in overtime, but we'll just freaking see. We will just see. So hang out for a little bit longer, people. Maybe like 2 or 3 more minutes. We'll see. Or we can hang out here. See what the final call is, because I have no clue what the call is going to be. I have no clue what it's going to be. Hold on. I'll turn that down a little bit. Upheld. Upheld. That is the ball game. End quote. Wow. Damn. 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 That. Honestly, there's nothing much that you can say after that one. Hold on. Am I muted? I'm not muted, am I? Hello, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic. Okay, I'm not muted. Good. You know what, the other thing too, and people are probably going to talk about it too, like, diehard FSU fans. The people that stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch this game. That was a targeting call too. Like, the linebacker had a targeting hit. There's Andrew Luck. It's showing Andrew Luck. He's hugging his player. Sports Center coming up next. Hey, the Flyers beat the Wild tonight. What else happened? Yeah, Stanford beats Florida. Well, 13-20. So apparently my prediction of FSU going 10-2. That's out the window. Did they storm the field? Looks like... No, those look like family members. Yeah. Well, the stadium's empty, dude. The stadium's freaking empty. No one went to the game. It's like, how can you storm the field if nobody went to it? Kind of like how the... Because a lot of people were calling out Miami the other day. Because their stadium was pretty empty for yesterday's game. Okay, let's get some things queued up here. Get the show started. Sorry it's taking me forever to get into this. Well, backstage, want to see the craziness of how that one might end up and turn out. Just because there's been a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of action for college football just in general this weekend. I think we had undefeated teams remaining. Five. There's only 5 more undefeated teams remaining in the top 25. I had to look. I have a little cheat sheet with me. We'll get there. Hold on. Let's get this queued up. Let's get this queued up. What else? All right, we're in it. Okay, we're in it. Here we go. All right, people. Now we're live. Okay, now we're going. Everything's rolling. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. We got a little bit of a later show because we just finished the FSU versus Stanford game. So people who are on the East Coast who stayed up till 1 o'clock to watch your team lose on a review. Sorry. I thought we'll see what people are crying about tomorrow. It looked like a touchdown to me, but that doesn't matter. I think what we'll talk about today is we'll go over just some of the. I got it queued up here, on this cam right here. I got it queued up. We'll talk about matchups today, but then we will also talk about who I think who's moving in the top 25 because there's going to be a lot of movement. Who I have predicted to be in the top 25. Spoiler alert, I'm just going to give you a little preview right now. Bama's going to be the number 2 team in the country when we wake up tomorrow, even though the East Coast is already awake on Sunday morning. Bama's going to probably be the number 2 seed, and Indiana's going to be the 3 seed. They're probably going to stay exactly where they're at. But we'll get there. Okay. So, anyway, we'll talk about a little bit about college football. And everything that happened today with regards to college football. I might cover the NHL a little bit. If there was, because I don't think we have an MLB game till tomorrow. Because if the Brewers didn't get swept by the Dodgers, if the Brewers didn't get swept by the Dodgers, we would have had Game 5 today, but Dodgers had other plans. Shohei Ohtani had other plans. So, that game's going to be tomorrow night, Game 6. Seattle leads the series 3-2. But it's going to be in Toronto. The next 2 games are going to be in Toronto. So we'll just see. We'll see if the Mariners can go in. Because they gained all momentum, stealing 2 on the road, lost 2, reclaimed momentum yesterday. So we'll see. Okie dokie, let's get some things queued up here. Hey! Let me get some water. Hold on, 2 seconds. I should have done this before the stream. I totally forgot. I'm gonna be freaking talking a lot. Rookie. We got a rookie in here. Alrighty. Okay, so some of the big games that happened today, obviously we have Bama. They rolled Tennessee. I think something that people, because I'll admit the games that I was bouncing between more was honestly the BYU-Utah game, but then also, what was that other primetime game that was, oh my gosh, am I drawing a blank? I did watch a little bit of the Bama-Tennessee game, but I wasn't watching the second half as much. Notre Dame USC. That was the. See that's there were so many games today. I can't even remember how many freaking games I watched. Because there got to a point when the score. Let me go under Gamecast here. When the score for Bama. When the score after. When the score was 30-13, I was like, okay, this game's over. Like to that point too, I had no clue that there was the 99-yard interception at halftime, like as a buzzer walk off to make it 7-23. Had no clue that happened. All I knew was that the score was 7-23 going into half, then 13-23. But then once it went 30-13, I kind of thought, and I looked at it like, okay, Bama's winning this. This one's over. There's no way. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. How's that work? Does that work? Oh, no. Hold on. Anyways, but so yeah, I switched between the Notre Dame game and the BYU Utah game because, that game was close as hell. That was a freaking close game. It's a fun game too. And the Notre Dame game too with USC. That game was a little bit more interesting than the Bama Tennessee game because USC got that Jacoby Lane touchdown, and then it's like, oh shoot, USC has the lead, and then Price had his kick return, and then Notre Dame took the lead back. The rain's starting to come down, and it's like, okay, who's going to win this game? Because I did for a moment there feel like, okay, this was anybody's game to win. But towards, tail end of the third quarter and then into the fourth quarter, they just stretched the lead and ended up winning it. Never doubt the Irish. Okay, who do the Irish got coming up? Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. Well, Stanford just freaking beat Florida State, so they can beat anybody. I wouldn't overlook this game. I would not freaking overlook this game. This Navy one, it's going to be close in the first half, probably 6-10 at halftime, and then Notre Dame's probably going to roll them in the second half. That's how it always goes. Got the two, and I said this too in my season preview for Notre Dame is because this is when there was a little bit of quarterback controversy and who's going to be the guy going forward. Because was it going to be Steve Angeli? Was it going to be Carr? Angeli ended up transferring after the spring game. But their two biggest games of the season were going to be that Miami game and that Texas A&M game. Because they don't have to play Clemson this year. They don't have to play Florida State this year. They don't have to play like Michigan or Michigan State. Some of those other like big on big program kind of teams. And so when you look at their schedule, like Miami and Texas A&M were the two biggest challenges coming into it. And then Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State. And USC was going to be a big game. But like Boise State's not coming into, no. Maybe Arkansas could sneak one on you, but there was not much sneaking in a 56-13 loss by the Razorbacks. So, because, yeah, their schedule after those two games, we knew it was pretty favorable. But, because, like, look at Miami's schedule, for example. All they had to get through, they had to just get through this gauntlet right here of playing Florida, Florida State, and Notre Dame. At the time, when South Florida was ranked, we were like, okay, this is a big game. Because from there, look at who they got to play. There's no Clemson in here. There's no, who's another big ACC team? That's Georgia Tech. There wasn't any of it where all they got to worry about is can they get a win against Virginia Tech and Pitt towards the end of the season to secure, okay, we're going to be one of the teams represented in the ACC title game. And then when they lose something like this, because right now, Miami is sitting at 5-1, but 1-1 in conference play. Georgia Tech already has 3 wins on them. They're sitting at 4-0. Virginia's sitting at 3-0. And SMU is sitting at 3-0. So we could have another weird situation, kind of like last year, where you saw that SMU kind of did have a cupcake schedule last season, which, by the way, they had a big win today, too, on the road at Clemson. But SMU kind of had a season last year. Where's the... why wouldn't it show? Okay. Oh, here we go. 2024. Like, I'm sorry. This is a... You know what I mean? Like, Cal, Virginia, Boston, College, Duke, Stanford. Now, you beat a ranked Louisville team, okay? And you beat a ranked Pittsburgh team. This is also the same Pittsburgh team that started out 5-0 or 6-0 and then lost every game since then. So, I'll give you credit also as well on the Florida State win, because this is when Florida State was free falling. But then you lose to BYU. And then when the ACC championship game rolls around, you lose to Clemson. So, I mean, there's no Georgia Tech here. There's no Miami here. There's no Clemson in the regular season. I think Clemson in the regular season could have been interesting. But you're playing, from the ACC point of it, you're playing 2 Pac-12 teams and Virginia, who hasn't had a good... So, I kind of picked this apart around this time last season, after when they were debating if SMU or Bama should have gotten in for the college football playoff. I went over their schedule with a fine-tooth comb, and I was like, they maybe could get passed over. All right, what other big games happened today? Arizona State did get the upset on Texas Tech. I will admit, I was not watching this game. I was watching this game. The other game that I was watching too, and skipping back and forth from also Ohio State just putting belt to ass to Wisconsin. I was watching that one more. And then when you look at Ohio State, where's that loss going to come? Because I was leaning... it's either going to happen against Wisconsin or Purdue, because at home I don't see them losing to UCLA, the Rutgers, or Penn State. I just don't. So then, okay, it's going to be a road loss where they lose. Could it be at Wisconsin? Clearly not. They won 34-0. Julian Sane did go Super Saiyan, and he had an excellent game today. So then it has all the makings right here against Michigan. Can they beat Michigan? Who knows? Who the hell knows? And by the time these two run into each other as well, let's fix that a little bit. By the time, because right now Michigan's sitting at 5-2, Ohio State's sitting at 7-0. We see where they are, rankings wise and stuff. But by the time that these two teams run into each other, Michigan's going to be ranked. I don't think in the top 10, but Ohio State's probably going to be the 1 seed, and then Michigan's probably going to be 15 to 20 seed. I can see around there. And can Ohio State get over that mental hump of, hey, we've lost to this team 4 straight years in a row? Because right now, I mean, the matchup predictor's sitting at 75% for Ohio State, which we know numbers don't mean shit, especially after last year's game, which was phenomenal. So what else happened today? I will admit too, in the ASU game, from the final like couple minutes I watched in the fourth quarter, one thing that I will say is I think, I don't know if ASU was this ASU's did ASU win this game or did Texas Tech lose this game? And what I mean by that, and I'm not trying to discredit everything that ASU did for this game, but is Texas Tech not letting on how much Bear Morton's injured? And that would be my only question and takeaway out of this whole game is if it's a lot to expect out of your well BYU knows this feeling too because their quarterback also is a freshman and they are 7-0. But what I mean if Morton was playing in this game, could Texas Tech have walked out of here with a victory? I really think it had the makings of that, especially with how the final drive for Texas Tech, they score a touchdown. With the final minute-ish left that was left in the game, they didn't actually see the ball again. Like, Arizona State went all the way down, walked it off. And then they didn't give, kind of like the ending of Super Bowl 57, Texas Tech was given 13 seconds to drive down the field and try to score a touchdown, which it had the makings of, okay, here we go, Hail Mary time, and that was what the final play ended up being. But if it was anything different where, just time-wise, if Texas Tech had more time to get closer, who knows? If Bear Morton is playing in this game, who knows? If Texas Tech loses this game, and this is me as an ASU fan, like just being brutally honest of, oh my gosh, we gotta win a lot more convincingly than narrowly escaping 26-22. Because we saw what happened when they played Mississippi State and lost on the road. So they've lost 2 games on the road. Then last week's game at Utah, I think might be a little blemish. I think Houston's going to be ranked when this game happens. We'll have to see where Iowa. I was about to say Ohio. We'll have to see where Iowa State is ranked by the time these two teams meet up. Yep, Cyclones have 2 losses. Oh yeah, they haven't played in a while. Haven't played since last week. Oh, this has all the makings of, they could beat BYU and then the Big 12. Because I think the Big 12 is still up for grabs, even though BYU's in the driver's seat sitting at 4-0. Because if you look, who else is 4-0 right now? Cincinnati. So I'm not too scared. And then Arizona State sits at 3-1. So if they just keep winning some of their Big 12 games, they could find themselves back in the big dance. I will say, though, Oklahoma State and West Virginia, definitely out of it, though. I didn't know it was that bad for Oklahoma State. Yikes. Then they gotta go play Tech. Oh boy. Dang. Kansas State. Where's Kansas State sitting? Kansas State sitting at 3-4, 2-2 in conference play. Even at 3-4, Kansas could get to the college football playoff, but they would have to win out in the Big 12. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They would have to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more conference wins, so they would sit at 7-2, which would probably be a little up here by Cincinnati or Arizona State, like the 2 seed or the 3 seed. A lot of magic would have to happen. They'd have to, sit and wait for some stuff to happen. And other teams ahead of them, like Baylor, like TCU, because they don't have the head-to-head against Baylor, but they do have the head-to-head against TCU. They would need Iowa State, who has the head-to-head against them, lose a couple. They don't play Houston, so they'd have to take care of business against Texas Tech. They'd have to take care of business against, who else is above them? Baylor, TCU, Houston. Do they play Houston? They do not play Houston. And I said they play Texas Tech. Oklahoma State's down here, so it wouldn't improve their stock too much. They're above Utah, and then they're above Colorado as well. So they would have to win out and hope that Iowa State and Houston and BYU drop down a little bit. Probably not going to happen though. So my Kansas State versus Iowa State, preseason prediction is not coming to. It's not going to happen. I was really high on these teams coming in. I thought Houston, I thought Baylor, I thought Colorado, Oklahoma State. I thought they were all overhyped a little bit. All right, so then the other game that I watched too, because I missed, because the Texas and Kentucky game was going on a little bit in the middle of the Utah BYU game. And this is kind of what's fitting about Texas, is right after they beat Oklahoma and all of Oklahoma's hopes and dreams are crushed for a little bit. And, okay, John Mateer's not that dude. John Mateer's not going to win the Heisman. Oklahoma is who we thought they were. Arch Manning, he found his rhythm. Texas is back. They turn around and go put up 16 points against Kentucky. And if there wasn't terrible, and I mean terrible play calling at the goal line in overtime, Kentucky's probably punching it in for a touchdown, and then Texas has to turn around and get 7 points. Like this, Texas escaped, and that's what the commenters were saying on the broadcast, and I definitely agree with that. Just Kentucky, I mean, you look at the stats, Cutter Bully had a better game than Arch Manning. But you look at the score, like, obviously, yucky game. And again, it also shows, too, when you look at the big 1-3 and how there was a goal line stop, I will give credit, because I have been giving credit to Texas's defense all year. Was Texas's defense keeping Texas in this game and giving them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to win this game. Because you go and you look at Texas's schedule and everybody that they've played up until this point. I mean, look at these wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-2. Not the best. But they only gave up 14 points against Ohio State. Okay, how many points did Ohio State get this week against Wisconsin? How many points has Ohio State scored in general? A lot. A freaking lot. Only gave up 7. Only gave up 10. Shutout. 21 in their loss. Mateer and Oklahoma only gave up 6. And then this one only gave up 13. And they had a crucial goal line stand in overtime too. So I think personally Texas's defense still is the real deal. And I think when they play Vandy, I know everybody's riding high on Vandy. I would lean in a prediction. I'd lean towards Texas in this game. And that's not like Vandy has shown that they can win on the road and can win at home, because I've even gotten to my reaction and my review on the Vanderbilt versus LSU game. But we saw how the Commodores' offense was against a stout defense. And we saw how Pavia played and stuff, and he, had some bad plays in that game, and we saw how that game was lost. I would not be surprised if Texas's defense does the exact same thing, shows the exact formations and schemes that Bama did to shut them down. And this is also a road game too. And the road games that Vandy has had to play this year: Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and Bama. So, plus they got Mizzou coming up. Mizzou and Vanderbilt. That's kind of weirdly a, hey, here we go. This is a huge game, big implications because Vanderbilt's sitting at 2-1 in SEC play. Missouri is ahead of them, but they're all tied. It's like the only ones who are, oh my gosh, Bama and Texas A&M are tied at the top at 4-0. What year is it? 2022? Shit. Kentucky at 0-4, Auburn at 0-4. We'll see where the Commodores can go from here. But I definitely think this one is winnable, but tough. And to end the season too, tough. Because okay, let's look at this objectively. Let's try to fast forward a little bit to the future. Okay, what if the winner of this game between Vandy and Tennessee, what if their winner of this goes and plays Bama in the SEC title game? Or winner of this goes and plays Georgia in the SEC title game. Because Georgia's the third-ranked team in the SEC sitting with a 4-1 record. Vandy is 2-1, and Tennessee is sitting at 2-2. So what if Vandy slips up at one of these, and both of these teams are tied in conference play? Winner gets to go play Bama. That's what this game could come down to. We'll see. We will see what other games happen today. And we can chit-chat about. I can give my thoughts and reactions. Michigan State played Indiana pretty close there. But then the second half happened where they must have got chewed out, because when you look at the box score, let me show you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Whoop. Let me scroll down just a little. No, just a touch. Here we go. Three points in the second half. 17. So, okay, Ole Miss beat Georgia. I did see this game. I did watch how. When did I tune into this one? I tuned into this one. Whoa. Okay, clutch defense by Georgia here. Look at that. Look at that goose egg right there in the fourth. I tuned in when they were down. They were down by... It was right after the... Yes. It was the touchdown. Well, no. Lawson Lucky. Where's the Frazier? Where's the Frazier touchdown? Hold on. Or was it? No. It's when I tuned in right after. Okay, it must have been right after here, because I saw Ole Miss score a touchdown to extend the lead, and then I saw Georgia get back into the game by scoring a touchdown. And yeah, so it was in the third quarter, right around here, 35-26. Yeah. Then Nate Frazier, Lucky again, and then the field goal for finishing touches. Because when it got to this is when the BYU and Utah game started. Oh, you guys are whoops. That's when the other games started, and I kind of figured, okay, maybe Georgia's gonna hold on to this one. What else? Did hear about Vandy beating LSU. Did not watch this game though. Did not watch it because I was watching this one. That's what kind of sucks too. Is like they all play at the same time, and it's like, gosh, freaking. South Florida is definitely going up. Oh, UAB. Yep, people were talking about this one. UAB upset Memphis. And so right now, let's look at the standings. Navy? Well, yeah, it makes sense that Navy's not. Because look at who they've played. Look at who they've played. If we wake up tomorrow and Navy's ranked, they'll be probably ranked where Memphis is. Because you look at South Florida and who South Florida has played. They've played 3 ranked teams. My bad. Sorry, Bulls. Not trying to offend you. Memphis. Why was Memphis ranked? No clue. Tulane could be ranked here. Oh yeah. Tulane could find themselves ranked. I think Houston's going to be ranked. No way Louisville's not ranked tomorrow. LSU's probably barely probably going to be scraping by in the top 25, considering they have 2 losses. LSU and Tennessee are definitely dropping. How much they drop, I don't know. Texas, and I would not be surprised either after their close loss. I would not be surprised if Texas drops out of the top 25. Because when you're ranked 20 to 25, when you're in that chunk, it's very lucrative. Where is that the word I'm looking for? Where, like, it's always changing. Like, you could drop out even if you win. Damn, I shouldn't be this tired. I should not freaking be this tired. Any other big games? Nope. No other big games. No other big games. Okay. So yeah, with that, alright, now I can give my reaction and stuff on the Utah versus BYU game. I thought that this game was very good. I thought this seemed like it could be a defensive showcase. Considering what the score was at halftime, it was 7-10. We had a scoreless first quarter. I think this had the makings of a classic, and I think it ended up turning into a classic. I thought that this was a really good game. BYU has improved to 7-0, where their next biggest game is the next one coming up, where they go play Iowa State. Utah, I believe, let's double check who they got next coming up. Colorado, and then Cincinnati, Baylor, Kansas, and Kansas State. I think so. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Three ranked games. There's their 4th ranked game. Baylor can't. None of these teams are. Cincinnati. If Cincinnati can hold on to this 24, because Baylor can't. None of these teams are going to be ranked. Colorado's not going to be ranked, and so the last final push to try to convince that Utah deserves a bid is if they can win this one against Cincinnati, because Baylor's sitting at 4-3, Kansas sitting at 3-4. No, Where's Kansas sitting? Kansas is also 4-3. So Utah's path has gotten very narrow, I would say. Their path now has to be Big 12. Big 12 championship win, because like that's just how it is. So it's got to be, because you've got one ranked win, which is the Arizona State win, and Sam Leavitt was injured. Not a lot of people will. I think people will use that as ammunition against the Utes to keep them out if we're looking at it from that point of view, because the other two ranked wins that they have was against Texas Tech, where they got blown out 34-10, and then tonight, and what we saw tonight, which I did think, I mean, the Utes gave a hell of a fight. I thought that this game was really good. I was leaning towards BYU, but only because of what I have seen respectfully from both squads. The games that I've watched from Utah this year, I did watch the Arizona State game. I did watch the Texas Tech game. Those were the only two games that I watched. I did hear about the UCLA game, and I watched highlights, but I mean, it's been so long since that game. And from week one to now, just ask UCLA fans. It's a totally different season. And so, from gauging those two games and what I saw, I kind of had a feeling that BYU it'd be more of BYU's game to lose, especially considering that it was, in Provo, at Lavelle Edwards, because from the handful of games that I've seen out of BYU, I saw the Arizona game, I saw the Colorado game, and to me, and I did also watch the Stanford game. So 3 games. That's a lie. So which Big Ten team have I watched the most this year? ASU, yeah, I figured. Because I watched this one, and this one. So, yeah, I've seen every ASU game this year. I haven't seen any Houston games. Iowa State I have watched, because I watched the Kansas game. I did watch the Arizona game. I watched a little bit of the Colorado game. I didn't watch any of the Cincinnati game. So their last 2 losses, had no clue. But I will be watching that BYU Iowa State game. Yeah. TCU, Baylor, Kansas State, Utah, Kansas. How many Kansas games have I watched? Only one. Ooh, Mizzou. I think I've watched more Mizzou games this year. Because I saw... Nope, I've only watched one Mizzou game. That Bama one. Where they look good. They looked good. And Mizzou has everything in front of them too, all things considered, because so they lose to Bama, but they beat Auburn. They can beat Vandy, they can beat Texas A&M, and they got Oklahoma. So they have 3 more ranked matchups. So everything's in front of the Tigers if they want to go get it. And then we can really start the debate on should have been, Drew Aller that transferred and not Bo. I think Mizzou's been building little though for the last handful of seasons, especially since the 22 year when they won the Cotton Bowl. Oh, okay. Yeah, what else? Did Parker Oh no, it was yeah. Yeah, that fourth quarter. It was a damn good fourth quarter. Yeah. So yeah, Bray's sweet pass. Yeah, got Utah the lead 14-10. But yeah, Parker Kingston, he had like his own little shuffle pass, and then um, the touchdown that did end up. Um, well, no, because Simmons touchdown late did make it interesting at 21-24. But the bear quake or something. I thought the call that they had was pretty cool when he was like, "There's a bear loose in Provo." That was pretty cool. But he had a huge monster run there towards the end of the game. Made it 24-14, and at that point, like the game was kind of under wraps. But yeah, dude. Either way, I think it was a damn good game. Either way, I think it was a good game. All right, let's look at Okay, let's go back to rankings. What I want to do, I want to look at the top 25, and I kind of want to predict who I think could potentially be in it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Here we go. Let me get it queued up. Let me get it queued. Okay. Sweet. All right. All right. It's queued up. I got it. Okay. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I want to see. I want to look at the top 25, and I kind of want to predict, especially with all the movement and the upsets that we have seen this weekend with college football. I wanted to predict who I think will move in the AP top 25 list and where I think some of the teams will go. All right, so obviously the first one that we can see, Miami's going to drop. Now, out of the top 10, doubtful. I don't think Miami's going to drop out of the top 10. I think Texas A&M. I don't think Texas A&M is going to move, just considering how Arkansas could have beat them. So Texas, and it could be too where, coming into this week, Ole Miss was undefeated, but they dropped one. It could be one of those where you won, but it was an ugly win, so we're going to drop you one spot. And so I think that, I think Texas A&M could potentially drop. I think Indiana, because they sat idle this week. No, they played Michigan State. I don't think they move because I think the team that actually catapults over them is Bama, because Bama has 4 straight wins. In against ranked opponents. Boom, 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 boom. Georgia, Vandy, Missouri, and Tennessee. Oh, whoops. There we go. Georgia, Vandy, Mizzou, and Tennessee. 4 straight ranked wins. That's definitely enough reason to jump them up. Ole Miss, because they lost to Georgia, they're going to drop. Georgia's going to jump to... I think Georgia's going to jump to a top 5 team. Oregon is probably going to move up maybe 1 because they played the Rutgers. They blew them out. But yeah, Texas Tech is going to drop. LSU's probably going to drop out of it. Same with Tennessee. Georgia Tech's going to move up to a top 10 team. Notre Dame's going to move up to a top 10 team. SC's going to drop out of the top 25. Oklahoma, let's see where Oklahoma goes. BYU, I think you can't. So out. You can't move BYU ahead of Miami or Texas Tech right now. as it sits, or Oregon. So I would say BYU probably moves to 10, and they sit at 10, and then, or yeah, maybe they could free, because yeah, LSU and Tennessee will probably sit around 20 and 21. Georgia Tech moves up. Notre Dame moves up. Texas Tech probably drops to 17, 16 or 17, because you got to move Vandy up. You got to move Vandy up near the top 10, because they beat LSU. So I could see Vandy, jumping over BYU. Missouri. Don't know where Missouri would. I don't know. I don't think they'd get much credit beating an unranked Auburn team, but they're still 5-1, so they could probably move to 14. Virginia, they're moving up, moving down. I think moving down. So we could have a totally new top 25. Some teams on the outside looking in, like, from last week. Illinois, Michigan, Washington, UNLV. I think, let's go to standings here. Navy, ooh. I could see them ranking Tulane over Navy first. Just, I don't know, based off of who they have played, because Tulane did play Ole Miss. But we'll just have to see. I have no clue. Let's scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you can't ignore Virginia anymore. Louisville, definitely going to be ranked. I could see Louisville being 21 or 22. Miami's probably going to drop to 7 or 8. What else? Houston, yeah, I talked about Houston a little earlier. There's no way, being 6-1, they're not ranked in the top 25 at least, especially with all the movement this weekend. I could see, and it would make sense if I could see Iowa State not being ranked with 2 losses. What else? Scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, USC not ranked anymore. The only Big Ten teams that should be ranked this week are, I could see Michigan being ranked. Oh yeah. I could see Michigan being ranked. The only Big Ten teams that should be ranked probably are the 3 I'm looking at: Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. And no, not Iowa State or Michigan. Not yet at least. Plus, you'd probably have to give the nod first to Northwestern because they beat Penn State, but even then. Anybody else I'm missing? Okay, let's go to the SEC. Nope. It's pretty much makes sense. Everything is. Yeah, you're not missing anybody here. Okay, so that'd be my takeaway. Kind of like my picks and predictions. Yeah, my pick would be Bama jumps up to 2. BYU's a top 10 team. Georgia Tech's a top 10 team. Vandy. I could even see Vandy catapulting over Notre Dame and BYU and their ranked wins, and just get so much credit because they beat LSU. But we'll just see. All right, people. Okay, we're gonna end the stream. We're gonna wrap it up a little bit. We've been going for a hot minute. Okay. All right, worked out great. Okay, but oh, we didn't even talk about the NHL tonight. Ah, okay. Let's go over the NHL real quick, real quick, real quick, real quick. Let's make sure it's queued up. Oh, okay. That aligns up perfectly. Okay. Penguins beat the Sharks 3-0. I didn't watch any hockey games today. So, oh damn, Panthers. Panthers on some tough times right now. 4 straight. Where can the Panthers get a W here? I'm looking. They got to get a. I could see them beating Bob. Home. So they have 4 home. I could see them losing to Boston, losing 5 straight, but getting their feet back under them against Pittsburgh, Vegas, Anaheim, and maybe even in a close loss to Dallas, they get their feet back under them. Because right now, sitting at 3-4, I mean, I don't even. What do you even say? I mean, Jersey and Buffalo are 2 teams probably not even going to make the playoffs. I think Detroit is going to make the playoffs. But you split 1-1 with Philadelphia. That makes sense. Because I bet if we rest here and then we played Buffalo again, they'd probably beat Buffalo. And if they played New Jersey again, right here in the Vegas slot, that's definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys can't see it. That'd probably definitely be a win. I don't know. There's a lot of injuries on the Panthers right now. That's hurting them, and we know this. I mean, and even Mikkola got hurt. So you have Ekblad, Mikkola, Captain Barkov, Tkachuk. Like, it's a lot of your dudes. Where's Marchand been? Where's Marshy's been? Where has Bennett been? I don't know. And unfortunately, I haven't watched any of these games, so I don't know off the top of my head. Rangers find ways to stay alive and win, but just not at home. Notice how they're 3-0-1 on the road, and all their wins have come on the freaking road. Oh, this team pisses me the hell off. Because they are my no, they're not my dark horse Stanley Cup prediction, but I really don't know who else in the East can compete with the Panthers. Because we know the Canes can't, we know the Lightning can't, we know I have the Rangers. Call me crazy, people, but I have the Rangers. Alright. Let's continue. Flyers beat the Wild in overtime. Blue Jackets beat the Lightning. Blues beat the Stars. Predators lose to the Jets. Avalanche beat the Bruins and improve to 5-0. Okay, where are the Avalanche going to lose? You know what? Utah. Have it be Utah. Just because. Yeah, I have no freaking clue. Yeah, they are the best team in hockey right now. Clearly so. Let's go to standings. League. It's either them or Carolina. They're the best team. Vegas, New Jersey, Winnipeg, Washington, Detroit. Sharks still don't have a win. Okay, when's San Jose's first win going to be? Oh, easy. We've decided this. It's going to be against the Avalanche. No. At New York. So they take a New York trip. Got New York, New Jersey, at Minnesota, at home against Los Angeles. a home against Jersey, and a home against Colorado. Where can the Sharks get a win? The age-old question. Right here against the Rangers, because the Rangers can't put it in the freaking net at Madison Square Garden. There you go. There's my prediction. Signing off. Everybody have a good night. Scores. Who else played today? Jets improved to 4-1-0. The Predators are sitting at 2-2-2. Damn. Okay, damn. Okay, Kings had all the just looking at the box score. Look at this. Kings had all the momentum. Tied it up. Kings could have improved their record just a little bit. Hurricanes win it in OT, and then the Golden Knights just beat the shit out of the Flames. Why am I surprised? Also, is Aiden Hill healthy? Is he back on the bump? And by bump, I mean in the crease. Yep, he's back. Okay, because I know he got injured. Yeah. I was trying to be funny there. Make a play on words, try to compare baseball and hockey together, because who is the most important player on the rink for hockey? Is it your forwards? Is it your D-men? Or is it your goalie? I think a lot of teams have their own opinions on who their most important player is. I think defensemen who can score are probably the most important players. Look at Kelmakar, look at Malkin, look at Sam Bennett, but Marchand as well, because he can score. But it just depends. Okay, and then Golden Knights. Okay. Any games mañana? 4 games tomorrow. Ooh. Okay, wait, did the Red Wings win today? No, Red Wings did not play today, but did the Red Wings, they played on Friday, they beat the Lightning, and they got the Oilers coming to town. Parts of me would lean towards the Red Wings just because of how much of a hot streak they're on. Capitals and Canucks. Does Ovi have a goal yet? I don't think Ovi has a goal. I want Ovi to have a goal, because I want to see him reach that 900. Hello? Am I doing this right? View, no, not all stats. I just want to see team stats. Ovechkin gets 898th goal, Cap win 4 straight. Oh shit. So if they've won, okay, if they've won 4 straight, they're losing to the Canucks. Sorry boys, I jinxed you. Goals. Alex Ovechkin just but 3 assists, so that's good. Tom Wilson right now being the best player with 7 points. Leading goals and assists. No. Protas is leading goals with 4. So well, if Ovi only has 1 goal, if Ovi only has 1 goal, Tom Wilson is supposedly statistically your best guy on the ice. You've won 4 straight, and then the Canucks are coming off of winning 2 as well. Oh, so this is anybody's game then. This could be, hey, we're the Canucks. We've won 3 in a row. I don't know, because I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be unbiased, because I mean, I want to see Ovi win another cup, but I don't see like I don't see teams just going on 7, 8 game win streaks this season. Like I don't know. I don't know if the Jets can repeat and do what they did last year. I don't know if the Capitals can repeat and do what they did like last year. Like I think there's a lot of parity in the NHL where where bad teams are doing good and teams that were supposed to be good were doing bad last year. I mean, I'm picking on you, Bruins, as I'm looking at the Bruins logo right here, because they were struggling there towards the tail end, but a lot of it was due to injury. I'll look at the Red Wings. The Red Wings are 4-1 right now. The Red Wings weren't, and same with the Oilers as well. Oiler fans know this. Like, wasn't it 2 seasons ago when they were sitting at like 3 wins after 15 games, and they ended up firing their coach? So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the Oilers lost 2 in a row. Maybe this could be a bounce back game for him. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no stinking clue. No stinking clue. My division predictions will stay the same, but I have no stinking clue. All right, people. We'll end the stream there. I've been yapping. Oh, freaking! I keep scratching my face because of little hair wisps that keep scratching my nose, and it's making me go like this because they're just little flowers. Anyways, now we'll end the stream here. I thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It was an exciting night of college football. There's going to be a lot of movements, and so stay tuned on how many teams move and stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of moving. But my biggest prediction, and I'll post the video right now, but my biggest prediction would be Bama to 2. But we'll just have to see. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. We'll see you guys in the next one.